Welcome folks, Peter here, and today I want to share a dump truck that I bought with you. So let's take a look why I bought it, and then let's take a look what I bought. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I bought this building here about 2 years ago, and I'm still waiting for the council to change the community plan around here. I still here and there do some work on it. So I needed a way to transport stuff around here. So let's see what I'm doing, what I'm planning to do, and why I bought this dump truck for. I don't know if it's noticeable on the GoPro, but this floor is on an incline. It goes up about 5 inches, 10 centimeters from the level where we are right now, and the reason for this is that this was old farmhouse or old pig pen, you can call it, or a pig house. And this, as you can see, the concrete, it has a different color here. And that's because there were 2 tracks for the conveyor that grabbed the manure and brought it outside. So that's the reason why these 5 inches are here. If you look down here, these are the remnants of the conveyor, and those are those 5 inches that will be removing from this floor. So there will be a lot of rubble from the floor. Then we need to take down the plasters, and we will drywall the walls. We also need to plug the holes in the ceilings. Then, of course, redo the floors and the drywall here, and block those windows. And then the main project here is this. This is 300 square meters, so 330, something like that. And this ceiling is high about 2.2 meters, and as you can see from this right here, these floors by the regulations need to be about 80 centimeters down. So we need to take off all this material to down there. All this material has to be taken out, and we have concrete, then the slag, then another concrete, and then the soil, and we need to take that to the level down there. So all this on both sides needs to be taken off and taken out. So I bought a dump truck for that, and so let's take a look at it while we are here. Also, I've got this Kawasaki Zephyr 750. I will not be doing a video on this because it should be really simple. It's a crashed bike. I already replaced the front forks to move it. I do that a lot of times. As you can see from that burned front fender on those headers, the front wheel was pushed about, I don't know, about 30 centimeters or half a meter. And I bought this thing for 300 bucks, and these are the parts. I started stripping already, but the reason for this being so cheap is that the engine casing here is damaged, so that's why nobody wanted it in the auction, and I want it. And so I will not probably do the video on it, so I can show you it right now. So let's take a look at the dump truck now. Well, and this is it. To be fair, it's not a dump truck, it's a mini truck. Its gross weight is about 1,700 kilos, which is like 2,500 pounds, and the load capacity is about another 2,000 pounds. So it's not a huge dump truck. It's only 2-wheel drive, and it's been made in the former East Germany, and it has a 2-liter non-turbo diesel engine in it, and it is loud, it is rusty, it is smoky, and body dumps, and it is street legal. You can drive it on streets, but it is not a pleasure to drive it. It drives about 40 kilometers per hour, nothing fancy. 4-speed manual, synchronized, and it has been made. This particular one has been made in '86. These things been made through the 70s to the early 90s, then replaced with the motor one, and it is fairly popular in the communal service here because it fits on the sidewalk and it has a good turning radius. So let's hop inside and let's give you a little tour. So here we are inside. It is not much spacious, but it is nice. It has a nice big window, so you can see out of nicely. It has the hydraulics for the dump bed and for the accessories. As you can see here, it can run the plow, or it can run like a broom, and it got some issues. The dash is not original to this piece. The speedometer does not work, the gauges does not work, and this steering wheel has a bit of play, as you can see. It has a lot of play. So yeah, without further ado, let's give you on the stand and let's start it up. As you can see, it smokes a lot and stinks. So I need to move it front. So let's hop in it. Right, I got loaded what I could by hand, so let's go dump them. Well, I don't know how to dump it. The first guy that I bought it from, he managed to somehow, he showed me that, but I cannot. So I hope I can learn and then I can show you again. Alright, so it's been 3 months approximately from the last clip that you've seen of this truck. Since then I learned how to dump it, and I learned how to drive it more with no power steering, no power brakes. As you can see now, I have 2 tons of sand in it because I did some construction, some concrete work on my building here, and I went to the yard, the local yard that sells the sand and aggregate, and I wanted to more coarse sand, but they didn't have it, so I just argued with the guy that I needed a coarser, and he just scooped this this sand and just tossed it into my truck. And I wanted a small portion of it because, as you can see, it was up to here, and I took off just this little portion of it because the main part of the concrete is aggregate, and I used all this aggregate, as you can see, to the concrete. So I have 2 tons of sand, and we can see that the leaf springs are not happy. As you can see, this leaf spring is almost done, and this leaf spring is not the best too. So the leaf springs should be changed. Same with the front, because as you can see, they are sitting on the bump stocks, and that's not pretty nice. The tires are bald, but yeah, this is the best one that I could find on the internet, and I paid 3,000 bucks for this. I don't know if I said it, but I paid 3,000 for it. And this is a cab over style little truck, and I showed you the adjustable steering wheel in the last clip, I think, and it has this key switch here, and your normal truck or car will start and die with a key switch. Not this one, and this is from the factory, done this way. This lever here is for your glow plugs. So your glow plugs are manually operated, and this is like this from the factory. This is not something add up. They had the lever or button from the factory. So this is from the factory. This dash is not factory though. Your turn signals are this little lever here. This key is your parking lights, etc. And this is your fog lights. This is your wipers. And this is your starter. And this is done this way from the factory. And this is horn, I think. So it is not particularly pleasant to drive. This is your differential lock. It has a locking diff in the rear, but it has dual tires in the rear also. Oil bath air cleaner, and I don't know if I said it, but this thing even on wet grass is useless. These do not have the good flotation, and I will be putting better tires on it and eventually. 4-speed manual. It has the hydraulics for the dump bed and the hydraulics for the plow and etc. Tow hitch front. This is your hydraulics. And the main thing that I'm considering right now is whether I should put the plow on it. There's a plow for $600. The tire chains are like be 100. So for 700 or 800 I can have the plow and the tire chains. Probably the front hydraulics, all the lines should be changed, because now I have a problem with the hydraulics. Some of this is leaking. It is not leaking bad here, but these hoses are cracked and they should be replaced. But when I dump the cylinder to lower the bed, there is a stream of fluid coming out of this. I don't know which of the hoses is blown, but I have to figure it out. The other thing, this thing should have a heater, as you can see, but the heater hoses I bypassed underneath the footwell here. The windshield washer reservoir is right here, and so we need to pull this heater, replace it. I have a spare. And what else with this? Oh yeah, there's this little quirk. It has a slide out windows. You can call them a smoker windows in the older cars. It has these slide out windows. No door panels, just carpet. There's your door handle, and this is for the engaging the PDO, handbrake, and as I said, your normal car starts up and dies with this. But if you want to kill this thing, it doesn't matter if you put this into zero, if you turn the ignition off. The way to kill this thing is to pull up on the pedal here, on the throttle pedal. And by the way, this is just C channel, and I thought that when I saw the first one of these, I thought that it was butchered, that the pedal is butchered and there should be a different pedal. No, this is how the commies did it back then. This is factory C channel as a throttle pedal, and you have your full throttle, and to kill it you just push it back, and it turns the fuel the fuel pump to no fuel. So another issue with this is rot. As you can see, these things tend to rot, has separation here, so we need to this is rotten here, as you can see, so we need to weld some patch panels, but that will be done in the future. the main thing today is to get the cab lifted, and we are gonna replace the radiator, because the radiator had leak when I bought it, and I don't want to go to the winter with just straight water inside. So let's tip the cap over and let's start replacing the radiator. I already ripped the radiator out. We just need to put new one in and fill it with coolant. There she goes. The cab is tipped, and as you can see, the radiator is not here. As I said, this is 2-liter diesel from the, I think, 70s or 80s, and there's a little bitty transmission with a PTO pump and a 4-speed transmission, IFA, and I really should, when I'm here, check the valves, replace probably the injectors and the glow plugs, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna roll this winter with not changing them, and we're gonna change them and set the valve lash the next spring or summer, because I think it's too cold to set that. Now there you can see the rod on the cab. This is the main problem here. This floor is separated, so we need to weld the patch panel in for the floor. So first let's get the radiator installed, and we'll see what we can do next. Alright, so we have the radiators here. This is the old one and this is the new used one. I paid like I think $75 for this. This is a 250 new, and the old one had a crack right where this outlet is. You're not gonna see that, but the crack was there. So we need to take this new used, put it on the machine. Alright, so let's start putting this thing in. As I said, they were running straight water in this. This is just the way they are with these old machines. They don't care to put another radiator. They just run straight water, which is not ideal going into the winter, so we need to change that. So let's take these rubber pucks off the radiator and try to hustle it inside. So it looks very clean, doesn't look damaged, so hopefully it's not going to leak, but I should pressure test it, but I do not have a container of water big enough to accommodate this whole radiator. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that I'm lazy. So we have to roll with what we have. Alright. So now it needs to go in this way. Let's connect the lower radiator hose first. So the lower radiator hose is connected. Now, just need to set it up so it's on its mount, like so. Nice. You can see that the fan blade is pretty chewed up. And what now? Now we need the upper radiator hose, which was a little busted on, so I bought a new one. So let's get that. Alright, so now the upper radiator hose, there is the old one, as you can see, it's cracking, cracked here, cracked, just general junk. And here I have the new hose that I bought, I think, for like half a meter for $10, and I cut it to length. So we need to get it over the thermostat housing here without getting this radiator smashed and banged up too much. Should really put it on the like this. One in, 3 more to go. Alright, so the rubber is in. Now let's tighten the hoses on the both sides. Now we are missing one clip that holds the shroud on, so let's add one up from the other. There's one, and there's also one. So we have all the clips holding the shroud. So now let's refill it with the coolant. There's a filler port right here on the top of the radiator, and you're not gonna like what you're going to see, because the coolant that I'm going to be using is the coolant from scrap motorcycles. So it's not the best, but it's free, and also it is better than just straight water. So let's start filling her up. You get the idea. Well, and that's it. Has the radiator replaced, just in time before the snow hit. As you can see, I probably should buy the plow, but I have off-road vehicles like that, so I don't need it. I mean it. It has mean tires on it. So if you want to see this little Multicar M25 being worked on in the future, consider subscribing. We have to deal with the hydraulics, redo the lines, redo the tires, change the oil, the fuel filter, oil filter, and we have some more work on the heating system, on the hoses, maybe O-rings, some seals in there. We have rodents, that's nice. And we're probably going to replace the steering wheel, get this shaft straightened so it doesn't wobble. And what else? We will do some patchwork, some patch panels, weld them in. And of course I learned how to dump it, but I drove it like just 5 times since I bought it a half a year ago, and I'm late on the videos. So if you want to see it more, subscribe, like, share and comment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.